Right hand side is our blue Zerg representing onside. This is Solar. Against the red Terran in the top left, it is from Team Liquid. Clem. Alrighty. OV coming across to the upper left. Gonna go for a little bit of a push as we get to move along in the early stages. Solar Clem, great matchup. First map Golden Aura will be Solar's map pick. This first map played on Central, so Clem's server preference. Higher seed gets the server preference, so Central West, Central West, Central will be the match map server order. As our OV heads to the upper left hand side. For the moment, so away we go. Catch Gas and Pool coming up for the moment as we just get up and running right now. Like I say, we're kind of following this overload, but yeah, let's see what goes down. Lately, Clem has just been so unstoppable in this matchup. Solar has played him a couple of times, hasn't really been able to get the better of him. Clem played a great match against him in the seeding groups for this tournament a couple of weeks ago as well. He looked as though he was behind, but he was able to keep it going. That's some fantastic stuff. As Bad Pandano. Thank you so much for another gifted sub, this time to Polly Wansa. Breaking out StarCraft 2. I'm gonna just say that's what Polly wants. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. To get underway. First Reaper coming across the map. So Reaper heads down, gonna drop a grenade. Droney taking some damage, a few Lings taking some shots in these early stages. Decent hits coming around for now. CCs just continue up as well. Triple CC, not very surprising for Clem to start this one off. Big map. Hard one to attack on. Let's just take that economy early. Play from there. Link does come around now to try and chase a couple of units, so try and fix things just a little bit. Sometimes trying to get something done. Casino Queen's getting there. Maybe taking some damage. Reaper really just trying to find its way through. No luck on that just yet so far. Well, the Raven upgrade starts. That's interesting. So we're starting to upgrade Interference Matrix. That's definitely one way to go about this that I wasn't expecting. Now we cancel it. I think it was just fake and cloak, yeah. But he still has a Raven, so a little bit of a fake out. And obviously this Raven will allow you to... It's fun what the Raven does. Obviously you can deny creep without scanning, but you can also drop some auto turrets down and sometimes harass a little bit with this Raven as well. Even just use the auto turrets to help kind of buffer for the Hellions and so they can fight the Queens more easily. Those are a couple things you can oftentimes, again, find success with the Raven for, so I'll say it's been a while since I've really seen Clem open Raven TvZ. He used to love Raven openers on 2000 Atmospheres, I believe. Way back when, a couple map pools ago. That was one of the openers he was really fond of on that map, and he used to play like 8 to 10 Hellions. Now he's going to build it, or play it with these Cyclones as well. So with the Cyclones, you have the extra DPS on the Queens anyways. Auto turrets coming down aggressively. Did you see the Zerglings starting to show up? It might be time in a moment for Clem to back away, as these Hellions and Cyclones continue through. The auto turret doing its job, and for the moment, this little push forward of Clem is seeming fairly darn successful as we continue in towards the natural. Cyclone's still locking in, a couple Queens taking some damage, and 1-1 upgrades coming through, the Stim Pack coming up as well. Still got those melee upgrades coming out also as our Cyclones lock on again. Queens taking more shots, Hellions still coming over. Now Cyclone's still trying to find extra here. I mean, this is great because the longer you make this fight drag out, the more time Solar's investing into just dealing with this. Even if he's adding a few drones on, even if it's mostly dealt with, it's still kind of mental kind of, you know, dealing with this, and now we just got ourselves an Overlord as well, so you're still finding extra opportunities as Clem get even more damage done. And yeah, Cyclone's going to lock on again, and that Overlord may go down too, and if you're losing these Overlords, Solar already got supply blocked once and worked his way out of it. He's very close against supply blocked himself a second time. He has the Lings look for the wraparound, and they will find themselves a bit of a chance. Hellions and everything else coming through and getting caught, so good defense in the end from Solar. He gets the wraparound, he finally cleans this up. At least when he does clean this up, he cleans this up in full. This is not like a half cleanup. This is not like a partial kind of anything. No, he got this done completely and truly. So that is a big win as these Medivacs go down to the bottom, and Clem will try and go push a little bit further. Work count's only 5 behind for Clem. He's got an army supply lead. It already just feels as though Clem, 800 resources lost better off, but his macro behind this is just so impeccable, and he just continues to, despite all the attention he pays across the map, he's absolutely spot on back at home during it all. Solo currently flowing a little bit of money as he starts up his balance speed. That will eat up some of it at least, but again, the sort of thing you need to be careful about as the Hydra Den comes down. And what will be great is if Solar can survive through to the Hydra Den and hence the Lurker Den, that is when Solar reaches full power. And a full power Solar, I think, is going to be what gives us maybe really the excitement in this lower bracket series between Clem and Clem. Then I could absolutely see this being a very fantastic best of 5 if we can continue to get Solar to survive long enough to get to those Lurkers, because then forcing Clem into the late game is also quite the spectacle as well. It's also very fun to witness. So that's kind of my hopes for this series, I guess. Just coming out, hoping that we see something along those lines as we do see Marines pushing down. A couple of Widow Mines get burrowed up, and these Marines continue to push forward. As you see our first few Queens already coming through as well. A couple of Banes are going to waddle in. Widow Mine shot going off. 8 drones already going down. Another Widow Mine shot goes off. The Queens take damage once again. And we are going to go back and forth. Still a few Banes chasing those Marines. The Marines continue to step backwards, getting away from that right now. Come back through once more. Just seeing another Baneling getting picked off as well. So another Bane gets picked away at. Damage continues to come through. A couple Queens being chased away. Still got Banelings pushing on forwards, and the Medivacs once more loading up to, again, just trying to escape out of all of this. We do manage to settle this down a little bit for now. Knocking another Overlord down as we go. Clem continues to push through the center, and these trades have just been good enough for him to absolutely take a little bit of an edge in this game. And now sit up about 20 supply, and I mean, Solar is much closer to 2-2. He's on his way to Hive. I just do not think we're going to see him survive there. The target fire is absolutely spot on. Everything it needed to be right there. As we do see the Lings still trying to wrap around. This is where you lift up because of the Banelings just kind of coming in a line. Clem is back on the right side. Solar does not have enough units to defend both angles comfortably. Multiple drones going down. GG is called. Clem takes game number 1 of this best of 5. And boy, does he look good in doing so. Very, very nicely done. And what a starting point. What a starting point for Clem. Just comes in on the Zerg first match. Some chicken with salad. Add one with mayo, one with sweet chili. Top left side. Game number 2 is going to start off with the Red Terran player who leads 1-0. That's going to be Team Liquid's Clem. The bottom right, our Zerg Solar from onside. Get this one underway. Clem's map pick. He leads by a map. Can he capitalize? Push this even further into his advantage? Can Solar stand up against Clem a little bit and say, no, 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 hold on a second. Let's make this a series. Let's make a series of this. Don't think anyone would be too upset about that. Let's just have drones mining away. He gets sold. Again, a refinery. We're setting up on this side as well, so we got the refinery underway as well. You can see where Solar wanted to get to. He just died before you really got there. The hive was still coming up. No chance to get really any sort of form of lurkers out. That is where Solar absolutely excels in ZVT. It's just painful because the part where Clem excels comes before that. So then you've got to kind of deal with, all of that Clem harassment just to get to the point where you probably have the best possible chance. And like I say, that is oftentimes just so difficult to actually find. Or you can eat, there's no action until 3 minutes. Well, that's the logic I oftentimes use, but then people still complain, so... It's okay, it's our playoff days, the final days of the WardiTV Championship. We will eat lunch cold between the games. It's okay. It's alright. Ling's gonna come chasing around an SCV. As you have Network just being chased around a little bit, so a little bit of action there. As you see the Reaper showing up, that's actually SCV. There's the third baseman coming down right now, and now you've got a third that is yet to be placed. That becomes maybe a little bit of a complication over these next couple moments, so let's see how that gets handled. So obviously needs to try and fight through to get that. As you have our Reaper moving around a little bit as well. Queen is there. Reaper gets turned away just for the moment. Push back over the left-hand side. Well, Reaper is taking a few more shots. Queen actually very nearly getting the kill on it, but doesn't quite go down in the end. We'll see Solar finally getting that third hatch down. Starboard coming up from Clem as he just works his way into a couple of Hellions. And he has really, the last few days, I've seen Clem play ZVT. He really has been playing a lot of these kind of few Hellions into that couple of Cyclones added into the mix as well, and just really getting aggressive with that and just trying to take an edge early. But some early trades, again, that Cyclone DPS really adds up what you can do and what you can fight against for the early minutes of the game, so it goes a long way to help out as the Reaper goes off onto the Queen a little bit. Another Hellion still coming through the center as well. Here Hellion keep on hitting hatchery, taking a couple shots. Just gonna see a Hellion's gonna be there. Queen gonna take some damage. And a couple of drones begin to take some shots as well, so damage continuing out. And that cloaking coming up. The Hellion's the Banshee on the way. Any more drones on the way. Queen's coming by. Creep team is being established as well. As we get this all set up to go. Hellions continue to move around. And Cloak coming up, the Banshee on the way. We got ourselves the double Evo chamber coming through as well. The few drones still coming out. The Queen's also producing. Hellions are again sat in the center. Second Marine goes after the Overlord. It's going to chase that around a little bit. We do have our Hellions obviously keeping control. With the Banshee showing up, let's see what Clem can do with some Hellion Banshee harass. Obviously no Raven this time around, so we are switching it from what we saw in that previous game already. Queen's going to be there. Some of the Hellions still chased away. The Banshee is there as well to get a couple of the drones, so the workers begin to go down. Hellions try and make their way into the natural expansion, and maybe that's an opportunity. Lings are going to come wrapping around from the other side as well. So maybe an opportunity there, as we do have the Hellions getting all the way in. 6 drones going down currently. Now up to 9, and Clem has the Banshee on the third base too, because there is currently no Spore Crawler. It just now finishes. Finally, we can push this Banshee back more aptly, but Already lose a couple more drones, and even on the edge here, we're going to lose another one as well. Damage just keeps rolling forwards as Clem pushes himself into a very strong spot. Melee upgrades the opening here from Solar, so his Bane Nest is only just now starting with the lag coming through. Obviously, that means Bane speed will be a while away, and that does worry me. That first 1-1 stim upgrade kind of push from Clem. If that can hit just before Bane speed, yeah, maybe I don't care about the fact that then Solar would still have the 1-1 of his own, especially after he's taking damage like this. That's the sort of thing that then becomes very difficult to hold on against, right? So, yeah, the more damage you take here, the tougher the follow-up is essentially going to turn into. As a couple more drones go down. Still got the Banshee moving forward as well. Just going to see a couple of these Lings being knocked down as we speak. So, not much found over there. Obviously, those Lings mostly just scouting around. Sees the third base going into position. Clem's lead is definitely substantial. I mean, you see 3 workers ahead for Solar, but obviously a Zerg should be 10 plus ahead, right? Against a Terran player who has, stopped the Zerg from getting a 4th base during this as well, so no 4th setting up. And Solar's just, a few steps behind where he should be. And that's what Clem is going to try and capitalize on. If Solar's a few steps behind, Clem is going to push and try and really hurt you before you can reset against all of that. So, let's see as the Marines do grab an Ovi. Stem just now finished, and obviously the medevac's already here to support this bit of a push, so we try and push in. This hatchery already going to take some big damage. It's going to get cancelled immediately here. And we do see the Marines loading back up, boosting back away down the bottom side. Away they go for a couple of moments as well. Spieling on back, now we jump into the main base. Damage will continue to come through. As these Lings run forward, just going to jump onto those Marines a little. Claws on the way out. We have got the combat shield again halfway done at the moment. +2 attack coming in. The medevac is building. Sure, Widow Mines as well. Just coming through from now. We do see a couple of drones getting picked away as the Banshees are back. Even finding the baneling between the base and the game. Just show me a moment in this game where Clem has not been dealing damage. Now he's up 15 supply. You're starting to see the effects of all this harassment come into fruition. You're starting to see all the benefits of it here. Also, do have G2 melee upgrades still coming through. The group of spines is about to complete. More Hydra's coming about, and again, it's just going to be these few Marines trying to stim in as well. A few more Crypt Tumors. Trying to figure out where they want to go. Bane Hydra still moving about. Banshee's coming through. Drones being chased. Bane Hydra coming across as well. It's 11 drones dead at the moment, so again, very good damage dealt. It just keeps adding up. And I mean, realistically, it's hard to get excited about this push because you kind of know that Clem is just going to win with this push. Unless Solar pulls off something miraculous. Like, that would be exciting. That would be fun. That would be kind of the game changer right now. But, again, the reality of this situation is that Clem just has so much. Even if this push doesn't end the game, it's likely going to just be simply extending his lead. There's a lot of Marines left. There's a bunch of Widow Mines that are yet to fire, and the only things left here are this group of Hydras that will do okay. They will do decently. They're kind of holding Clem off and buying some time, but again, overall, Clem's position is very difficult to lose out from. He is down on upgrades. That's one thing Solar has, so if we want to start looking for some hopeful kind of side or ways of things here for our Zerg. Yeah, the upgrade lead is there, so that might help him to survive a little bit. Big Sayer, though, of obviously upgrades only matter so much. Numbers at some point supersede upgrades, and I think that's very much so the case here. We're talking about almost double army supply from Clem. Widow Mine's hitting the Hydra, so they're going to be softened up too. You just can't keep chasing this Solar. You can push him a little bit further back, but you're going to lose some ground. You're going to lose some creep spread. Widow Mine's going to go off on the banelings. We do get the Hydra to clean up the rest of the mines at least. I can only imagine that Clem has a bunch more army back at home waiting to come through once again. He is, again, losing these mines, and there's a bunch of mines on the left side that can be cleaned out as well. The Liberator Siege is denying some of the drone mining on the 6 o'clock, so that's even more damage taken from Solar, who just can't quite stabilize right now. But a mine goes off, Overseer goes down, the Marine's still pushing through on the right. Naturally, just about live out right there. And another Hydra in the center going through. 11 drones being picked away at. Liberator still just sat, ready and waiting to, again, stop that mining. It's very difficult to stop that position as Clem stims in without any banelings available. 2-2 of Clem finally done as well, really allowing him just to take a very comfortable fight, and Clem takes a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Bottom left-hand side, we'll have our Red Terran player representing Team Liquid. As this, of course, Clem. Up 2-0, a map away from closing this out. Up against the Blue Zerg from onside in the upper right, Solar. Alright, game number 3. Get this underway. Hatchet comes down, Overlord moving through. Drones coming about as well. Obviously just Overlords moving around. Nothing really crazy then in the early stages. Clem is again high ground barracks, so no Reaper shenanigans or anything of the sorts. To be fair, these Hellion-based openers have been working well for him. Why change the winning formula? It's been good thus far. Not really any reason to change it beyond that. If it's working, you know? CV Scout obviously comes across. He wants to make sure he's safe in case his opponent is going to become a little bit aggressive, though. That's obviously one way to make this a bit different. Especially the way these games have been going so far. It's not exactly been pretty for Solar. So you would imagine that it's probably best case scenario if you just go and, yeah. Probably best case scenario if you just kind of continue or change it up and maybe kind of don't continue in the same way. If you're taking too much damage early, maybe your best bet is to be a bit more aggressive early. Take the, aggressive options away from Clem at first, and then kind of go from there. Reaper there is going to start fighting against a handful of those Zerglings, so we go back and forth. And you see the Queen popping out on the natural expansion as well. And the Queen still hitting the Reaper, which gets pushed further away for the moment. Also, that Reaper will stick around as long as possible, trying to find just a little bit more damage for the moment. Speed coming through, the orbital command is reducing. Reaper still very much so getting set as our starport comes through as well. So we bring that starport in, the Hellion comes through, our refinery is coming up. It continues to scout about again, things coming through as well. So far, so good. Hellion continues back over the right-hand side again. Link speed is coming through. We do have a couple more Hellions. This time the Viking coming in as well from Clem, so not going into that kind of Banshee play that we saw previously, so not going to have as much harassment there. We'll be able to clean up some Overlords, though. We'll be able to clean up some presence on the map from Solar, remove some of his map control and his vision. And that could maybe lead to openings as well at some later point, too, so something else that could then be considered, perhaps. There's opportunities for Clem, chances for him to come by and to succeed. As the Queen is there, able to push the Hellions away for the moment. Hellions just relocating that little bit, as they will find the mineral line undefended, but is only going to snag one drone on the edge. Is not going to try and push too much further for that. Got our Hellions still in the center. We do have ourselves the Liberator coming up. The Hellions on the way. Stimpack is a building. Evo Chambers and drones are producing. Like Queen still coming out from Solar as well. And again, the Hellions are still around on that right-hand side. Queen's making their way across. Yeah, these Hellions just trying to figure out what it is they want to try and do. The evolution chambers are not far from being done. That Viking is still coming over. And yeah, Rax and Engineering Bay is still producing through on the Terran side, so that transition is fully in swing. The Liberator follows up from the Viking. I was surprised to see Clem stick around on the Viking when the Queens are just whacking it, but maybe wanted to hold the Queens out of position to let this Lib come through, but the defense is perfectly poised there from Solar to make sure that Lib cannot come through, so that is a good defense. Absolutely. Again, stop the Liberator before it even begins is genuinely a very good way of making sure it can't do too much. Especially Clem's Liberators, which are so good at attacking, repositioning, attacking again, and just never really letting up the pressure once they start. Ping-ponging between bases, even just ping-pong different sides of the same mineral line. Clem's Liberators are annoying enough that being ahead on the defensive with them is generally a pretty good thing. Mbane is still coming through with the lair in production as well, so we continue that along. So you see a couple drones coming through, the melee upgrades are still coming about. Hellions are, again, still cruising around the top side also. Liberator around that far right-hand side. Still got more Marines coming through as well. Combat shield coming up also here. There's a couple Queens nearby. Just going to push those Hellions a bit further back. Medivacs continue down to the south. Again, the Queens are there. The Hellions will be pushed away for the moment. Factory coming through. The Medivacs 1-1 upgrades and combat shields are all coming through. And Marines will unload, and we are going to take a bit of a stim forwards. See how some of these initial trades from Clem can go as he does sit. Currently 10 workers behind. Already ahead in army supply a little bit is Clem. Solar making his way to that Hydra Den though, and again, would love to see a game where Solar has not taken damage early, and he actually gets a chance to show us a bit more of what he can do once he gets those Hydras up, once he can start pushing towards lurkers. We know Solar can create great games from there. Guess we will see. He's still pushing forwards, and just going to see a couple more of those group teamers still going down. Queens still running around the right side. The Lings are there as well, and the Queens will push that away. This Liberator going to get jumped on too, so just going to go dive onto that one. Hellbat's in the front here, going to knock down a bunch of Banelings. There's one Baneling left alive that's going to get in between. I saw it kind of just survive. It did not get target fired. I don't know if Clem picked up on it at all until it really connected, because I feel like he might have picked up a little sooner as well had he really seen it. Still trying to push on the right side as well as Clem. Currently falling behind on upgrades a little bit. 2-2 on the way from Solar. There we go, Clem. He's going to remember to start his own 2-2. Didn't forget it for too long. Also doesn't want to let that gap open up too heavily, because that will create timings for the Zerg that they would love to utilize. And finally, for the first time, I feel like all series, Solar has an opportunity to be aggressive. You see some Banes morphing in on the bottom side. Potential for a push over to the left and to keep on kind of moving through there, but looks like the Solar's backing away. He does have the bottom right base, which means that those units can be used defensively there instead of being aggressive. I mean, obviously that's one thing that's been missing from Solar's play, but he's just been kept busy enough that actually running by and counter-attacking, etc. have really not been on the table for Solar at all, unfortunately. It's just been, like I say, a bit of a tough series where Clem has really held position throughout. You see a couple of Widowmines trying to butter up right there. The Lingbane Hydra still trying to push through. So Bane's morphing. We do have the Lingbane in the main base clearing out a little bit as well. Marines are going to stand strong and fight. Stemming up, and a lot of Zerglings going down. The Baneling's taking a lot of damage in the process. We actually target fire a couple down as well. Clem sticking around here, still getting the Banelings target fired. Widowmines did get eaten up by the Overseer, but at least we do kill off that Overseer, which, to be fair, an Overseer is not exactly super cheap to replace or super easy to replace, so there's some benefit there at least. Let's do have 2-2 again, over halfway done for the moment as well. Ling Hydra still gathering together. Gonna stem up, a couple of creep teamers going down. Mine's going off. Overseer still taking damage. A few Hydras taking shots as well. We do have again the Lurker Den coming by. The Hive about to finish. He's still pushing through. The Zergling's still trying to grab onto some of those Marines. The Hydras actually get a bit of a push forward as well. A couple more Widow Mines going down at the moment. And the army on the bottom side from Solar going to try and chase across. Those couple of medevacs, try and push those away. Time supply is not leading. It's not super advantaged right now. Solar's getting to finish his Lurker Den. Hive is done. We're going to see Lurker upgrades start soon. And Solar might have actually finally done it. Actually broken through to his real strength in this game, which is this stage with the Lurkers. We're keeping a sharp eye on whether that is enough for him here. We'll knock down some creep teamers. Clem is going to go. Pushing forward. This is going to be the first time in the series I think Clem is going to be forced to build in towards stuff like the Ghost and so on. Again, just his own late game. He's just not really had to be used at all thus far. So definitely a time to try and have Solar maybe win a game. Like I say, this is his best shot of it so far. 7 minutes deep, no damage taken. Still got Clem pressuring in every single direction because Clem is just not going to slow it down. He has no reason to. But yeah, he'll continue through as that is a lag spike though, so moment here is really is not a fun lag spike. We'll just wait a moment for this to be sorted. Our player to drop. Caster to drop. We'll get resumed in a moment or two here, guys, in today's WardiTV 2023 Championship action in the lower bracket currently. Loser of this is out. Winner of this moves on to another round of the lower bracket. They're going to go when the timer ends. Perfect. Beautiful. 8 seconds and counting.
Game paused.
Alright, I will fix this for them. We resume. And they get straight back into this. As obviously, it was an exciting moment as the referee I can unpause, so it is not as much of a problem. Obviously, in a moment like that, neither player wants to be the one in the process of unpausing while everything else goes on. You're trying to micro armies, etc. Anyways, all sorted out. We continue through. We do see this little force over here was chasing down the Lurk and a few Hydras now. Soul's going to continue to chase forwards as well. These Widow Mines going to get caught a little bit as well. There's a lot of SCVs starting to go down. This position is being broken, and Clem is just not being really ready to kind of deal with this later tech army. Again, we look at Clem's units at the moment. It's just Biomine. Clem losing a lot of momentum on the map, being pushed back a little bit. Can he stabilize? If Clem stabilizes and defends and holds, I could see him absolutely playing a later game. But he needs to just hold on and get to that later stage setup right now. At the moment, he's not set to go there. He's got the Ghost Academy. He just needs time to actually build into those units. So Solar, absolutely looking to take advantage, push through, and to try and capitalize on what is looking like his best opportunity thus far. As we come across Lingbane Hydra moving forward, the Banes getting settled. Marines are going to stem across. We're going to see some Lings jumping onto the Planetary Fortress over there. And a couple of these Hydras being chased away. Just having that Bioforce continue to come through. A couple of Hydras getting pushed back. As you do see the Medivacs being chased as well. We're just going to see another Widow Mine burrows. The Bio presses forward. The CC will take a forward stance as well. We're going to see how a couple of Lurkers going to get knocked away at. The Widow Mine shot goes through. The Parasitic Bomb onto the Medivac is going to go down as well. The Hatchery will set up on the top. And again, 3-3 upgrades coming by also. The Ghost about halfway done too. The Bio going to turn back around. Chase that Bane Hydra force away. Another Lurker push back also. 3 Ghosts still coming about. Just going to be seeing how Lurkers get burrowed. This army looking to take steps into this orbital command. The Widow Mine's coming around the top side. Ling's going down in a big way. Here we go with the Balins crashing forwards. The Lurkers getting set up. We just have Solar taking position on the base of Clem. And again, keeping the momentum going for the moment here. Solar still has all these bases working down the right side for him, so his economy's still strong, still building up and able to rebuild throughout these fights as Clem desperately trying to hold on against this. He's going to come in from a couple different angles. He's got a couple snipes available, but not enough to clean out the lurkers completely. Can he find some good enough snipes to knock even just a couple lurkers down? Widowmine dies before it fires. Clem is once again pulling back up this ramp defensively, trying to hold on. Another Widowmine that will die before doing anything else. The Orbital is going to get repaired. Can it be saved? The Hydras do not get the kill on it. We spread against these lurkers that we're starting to push into. Clem kiting back once more. Just finished up his +3 attack recently, so he has that in his favor as well. Against +3 Carapace, neither player with the other +3 upgrade finished yet, although Solo's on the way to it. It doesn't look as though Clem, though, is just losing a little bit too much. There's a couple Overseers flying about, and we have Hydras continue to come through. GG is called, and Solar will take game 3. We are back in this series as Clem has to take a loss on Solaris, and that is going to give us... Sorry for the extended break, guys. I finished my lunch, but then Ellie was meant to be going out with Helen, and she would just not leave because I was eating my lunch. So I had to take her downstairs and convince her she was not getting any food before she would go out, so that's what took the last couple moments. But welcome back. As we get into game number 4, Solar bringing the series back a map. Can he keep it going against the red Terran top left, Clem from Team Liquid? Find out very shortly as we get game number 4 up and rolling. Has been a fun... It has been a fun set of games, hasn't it? Especially as we got to see things start to go the other way. It was pretty Clem-dominated game 1 and 2, sure. For a couple of different games, and starting to see how Solar can just adjust to hold on and, to kind of do things a bit differently. And kind of seeing the, the impact on that and the effect on that. And actually seeing him be able to come through and win a game, I think is very cool, especially. So, very happy on that one. Obviously, I'm very happy just to see more games in general. Always a good thing for our competition, believe it or not. There's a couple of queens, handful of lings, continuing through. Just going to bring all of those up as we get ourselves the command center coming in, a marine on the way through as well. A little bit of everything. And there's going to be a Reaper to come across the map, and we're going to follow that, as that's going to be our point of interest, our point of action for the first few minutes here, of course, as it so often always is. Reaper starts to fight. A couple of the lings begin to take some shots. The Ling's actually attacking their own hatchery for a moment. I promise you right now, Zerglings, that is not the way to go. That ain't gonna help you against Clem at all. There's that double CC coming up. The factory's coming through as well. Just get ourselves ready to go. Reaper chilling. Ling speed building. Queen on the way. We're gonna put everything on the go right now. A couple extra drones coming out also. And the Queen's able to push that Reaper back a few more moments as well, so just to gain a couple of seconds to push things away there. And so far, Clem will not deal too much damage early on. Obviously, he shouldn't be dealing much damage at this stage anyways, but just worth noting that he hasn't done, because you never know with Clem. It is the gain into these reacted Hellions. A style that's definitely, again, been taking a bit more of Clem's attention lately. After, for the last few months, Reapers have been all the rage and all the rest, so... yeah, I've seen Clem definitely falling back in love with a lot of these reacted Hellion openings and a lot of that reacted Hellion pressure and other things that follow up from there, so... pretty cool. Let's just have our Reaper obviously going to keep on keeping control at the front. The Hellions will join up to help protect it, especially as Ling speed finishes shortly. Then you want to make sure that the Reaper's not going to get surrounded. The Hellions can gain company to try and just keep on pushing. Creep spread back alone is generally a pretty good thing, so... continue to try and find as much of that as we can. Well, Queen's going about, a couple of Hellions and a Reaper moving about as well. Just seeing our couple of units continue moving around, cloaking coming up. Those Hellions are on the way as well. We'll see ourselves the Overlords, and obviously Everything normal from Solar, but waiting for this Hellion Banshee harassment to strike. We saw Clem succeeding with that one in game number 2. Found a way in with the Hellions, opened the door for the Banshees to get multiple drones after. Really kept control of the game very well from there on out. Was a very good start for sure. And let's just see these Hellions coming back along the bottom. Gonna look for a way in, as you see a couple of queens there immediately. And they're just gonna try and keep those Hellions back. So trying to keep those away. Another hatchery coming down. You see the Baneling nest coming through with the Blair coming up as well. So Solar is this time going to be playing into those faster Banelings, that Baneling speed before we see evolution chambers. So prioritizing the Bane speed. You know, it does feel as though melee upgrades quickly just kind of leave you a little bit vulnerable at points. So now the Hellions is going to go in after the hatchery. The couple of Banshees will put their work into it as well. So that hatch taking some big damage. That is going to end up as a cancel. As you see the Queen still getting chased away back over in this direction. The Banshees continue to chase through. Hatchery very close to being set up here. And you got that 4th base going. Solar. Now the Banshees take a chance to dive up into the main where they're going to find a Queen unguarded. A handful of drones transferring as well. And so Clem actually finding a bunch of drones. This is a lot of damage dealt. Banshees doing very well. Now the Hellions. Oh, they had an open base. Yeah, the Lings might have chased across. They still have an open base. The Evo Chamber tried to go down, does not. The drone stack. Disaster strikes for Solar. And this game is suddenly disastrous through and through. Clem finds everything on this 3rd. All of the drones go down. 34 workers killed. Solar does not even stick around in the game. It is not worth his time, he says, and I could not disagree. Clem just dominates a game number 4 just like that. And that is going to give us a Clem victory. 3-1.